We are a covenantal community founded on loving kindness and a common devotion to our free faith. I'm Reverend Ruth Van Lillian. I'm honored to be the contract minister serving this congregation. My pronouns are she, her. If you are new to our fellowship, we're so glad you found us, and we encourage you to read through the paper order in front of you, as well as to check out our website and our Facebook page to learn more information, and you will find links for even more information when you go and look at those. This morning, we hope to touch minds, to teach minds, to touch hearts, to challenge spirits, and comfort souls. We hope that everyone finds refreshment and restoration in our service today.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Shar Farley, a member of this fellowship, and I'm going to be your service leader this morning. I'd like to add my welcome to Ruth, to all of our visitors and our members who came out this rather nippy, chilly morning. After the service, we invite everyone to stay and have some light refreshments at the back of the sanctuary. And then at 11:15, the children will be able to go to their classrooms, and the adults can attend one of two discussion groups today that are listed inside your order of service. Take a peek in there. We're going to have two of them today. The first is called the Visitor Circle. It doesn't mean, though, just visitors are welcome. Everyone is. And that meets up here in the front of the sanctuary. And today, our minister, Reverend Ruth, will be leading that discussion, reflecting on her message that she will give today. And also for visitors who attend, you'll have the opportunity to meet Ruth and ask her any questions that you have about what it means to be a member of our UU fellowship here. Parents, if you have children, please take them to their classrooms, sign them in, and then at 12:15, everything will end. And when you go to pick your children up, make sure that you sign them out so we don't lose anybody, okay? We have a couple of special announcements today. One is Judy and Denny. Would you stand up and just kind of give a little wave? They're going to be here after the service, and we're asking that this is the beginning of Stewardship Month, and so if you're a member here, we have a nice packet for you to pick up. And Denny and Ruth. And visitors, yeah, because we have some people who have not joined yet, but we call them friends of the fellowship, and they like to contribute to our programs here as well. And then we have another announcement that I think everybody will like. Gil, do the honors.
Good morning. My name is Gil Brown, and before the pandemic, we used to have a first Wednesday potluck. People would come the first Wednesday of the month, and we would have dinner together and share a spiritual question to keep people engaged and enlightened and interested. So we're going to be having the first Wednesday potlucks again, but there's a twist. It's going to happen on Thursday. We might change the name, I'm debating. But right now, the first Wednesday potluck will be on Thursday. So it'll be at 6 p.m., March 7th, and it'll be a lot of fun. Look forward to seeing everybody there. You'll see a lot more about it in the e-news, so pay attention.
Thank you, Gil. And now our prelude will bring us into our service. come forth, please, and light our chalice? The fellowship is not only a steeple above the tree-lined streets and cars. Rather, it is a proclaiming to the world that we are here for the work of healing and of justice. The fellowship is not walls built stone upon stone, held together by mortar, but rather person, linked with person, all ages and genders and abilities. A community built on the foundation of reason, faith, and love. The fellowship is not just a set of doors open on Sunday morning, but the commitment day after day and moment after moment of our hearts creaking open the doors of welcome to the possibilities of new experience and radical welcome. The fellowship is the gathering together of all the people and experiences and fear and love and hope in our resilient hearts, gathering however we can to say to the world, welcome, come in, lay down your heartache, and pick up hope and love. For the fellowship is us, each and every one of us together, a beacon of hope to this world that we so sorely needs it.
Our call to worship is responsive. Your response is, you are welcome here. Wherever you live and wherever you have traveled, you are welcome here. Wherever you are on your faith journey and whatever life-affirming beliefs you hold, you are welcome here. Whatever cultures and traditions help make you who you are welcome here. However you identify yourself, your name, your pronouns, you are welcome here. Whoever you love, and however you respectfully bond with others, you are welcome here. We embrace your unique beauty, your face, your skin, your form. You are welcome here. We celebrate your self-presentation, your clothing and decorations. You are welcome here. We all experience this welcome and we want to share it. You are welcome here. Our opening hymn is Love Will Guide Us. The number in the program is incorrect. It is 131. 131, or there will be words up on the screen. 131, Love Will Guide Us, verses 1 and 2. As you are able, I invite you to stand. children are invited to come forward.
Does this work? Okay, it does.
Sarah, introduce yourself.
Hey, if you don't know already, and if I haven't met you, hi, I am Sarah Searfoss. I am the RE assistant. So Holly and I go and we have fun projects for the kids. Aside from that, in the community, I'm a full-time artist, and I am an artist in residence over in the Exchange luxury apartment building in Crestview, and then I also am the director and co-founder of the Crestview Artist Collective, and this is kind of my fun little Sunday thing that I do, and I really love the community that you guys have built and that I get to be a part of. That is the religious exploration assistant. Okay. Woo! So today's going to be a little different. I have a book, so there's no pictures today, but it's one of my favorite authors, Neil Gaiman, and it's his poem Instructions, and it kind of takes a lot of the lessons and common themes of fairy tales and kind of condenses them all into a story that we can all learn a little thing or two from. Touch the wooden gate in the wall you never saw before. Say please before you open the latch. Go through, walk down the path. A red metal imp hangs from the green painted front door as a knocker. Do not touch it, it will bite your fingers. Walk through the house. Take nothing. Eat nothing. However, if any creature tells you that it hungers, feed it. If it tells you that it is dirty, clean it. If it cries to you that it hurts, if you can, ease its pain. From the back garden you will be able to see the wild wood. The deep well you walk past leads down to winter's realm. There is another land at the bottom of it. If you turn around here, you can walk back safely. You will lose no face. I will think no less of you. Once through the garden, you will be in the wood. The trees are old, eyes peer from the undergrowth. Beneath a twisted oak sits an old woman. She may ask for something. Give it to her. She will point the way to the castle. Inside it are 3 princesses. Do not trust the youngest. Walk on. In the clearing beyond the castle, the 12 months sit about a fire, warming their feet, exchanging tales. They may do favors for you, if you are polite. You may pick strawberries in December's frost. Trust the wolves, but do not tell them where you are going. The river can be crossed by the ferry. The ferryman will take you. The answer to his question is this: if he hands you the oar to his passenger, he will be free to leave the boat. Only tell him this from a safe distance. If an eagle gives you a feather, keep it safe. Remember that giants sleep too soundly, that witches are often betrayed by their appetites. Dragons have one soft spot somewhere, always. Hearts can be well hidden, and you betray them with your tongue. Do not be jealous of your sister. Know that diamonds and roses are uncomfortable when they tumble from one's lips as toads and frogs. Colder too and sharper, and they cut. Remember your name. Do not lose hope. What you seek will be found. Trust ghosts. Trust those you have helped to help you in their turn. Trust dreams. Trust your heart, and trust your story. When you come back, return the way you came. Favors will be returned, debts be repaid. Do not forget your manners. Do not look back. Ride the wise eagle, you shall not fall. Ride the silver fish, you will not drown. Ride the gray wolf, hold tightly to his fur. There is a worm at the heart of the tower. That is why it will not stand. When you reach the little house, the place your journey started, you will recognize it, although it will seem much smaller than you remember. Walk up the path and through the garden gate you never saw before but once, and then go home, or make a home, or rest.
At this time, you're invited to come forth, tell us your name, and place a pebble in the bowl, and briefly share any personal joy, concern, or milestone in your life so that we may support and celebrate together. Please remember not to reveal any or discuss any health issues with anyone unless you have their permission to do so.
there's anybody out there whose life is going incredibly smoothly, congratulations, and maybe you should keep it to yourself. Just kidding. Our lives are so very, very busy. And we, all of us, come in here with lists in our minds, worries on our hearts, so many things to distract us. Right now is a chance to do some of that de-stressing that Denny talked about. Breathing has all kinds of wonderful benefits. It's a spiritual thing. When we breathe, we are taking in molecules of oxygen that have existed for eons. We might be breathing in air breathed by famous people, by dinosaurs, something that worked its way in on a meteor. It connects us to each other and to the past and to the future. Let's breathe for a few minutes, and then I'll close us with a few words. It's easy to feel small in such a big universe. It's easy to feel small and vulnerable with so many big worries and challenges. Let us remember that even in the sense of smallness, there is strength. It is important that we remember we are not alone, that we have people on the journey with us, holding our hands, whispering hope and love in our ears. We have people to sing with, to walk with, to journey with. We are not alone. Amen. Shalom. Blessed be.
We have a tradition in our fellowship to share our Sunday plate donations with a local charity. This month, we are sharing with Niceville, Sharing and Caring. This charitable organization's mission is to coordinate community efforts to meet the emergency needs of families in Niceville and Valparaiso. If you're paying your pledge with a check today, please write check on or pledge on the memo line. All undesignated checks and cash will be shared equally with Sharing and Caring and the fellowship. Please be as generous as you are able. And will the greeters please come forth to accept the donations?
"Excuse me," the fellow said as he stuck his head around the doorway of the church kitchen where I was preparing snacks. "Is this the right place for the LGBTQ plus youth group?" I smiled, reached my hand out to introduce myself as a facilitator for the organization hosted by the Birmingham Unitarian Universalist Church. Our group offered safe, loving community and structure to such kids where they might not have these available at school or at home. Behind the man stood a tall, beautiful, slender youth with long brown hair, dressed in t-shirt and jeans. The man reached toward the kid and said, "This is my daughter, Gwendolyn. We're new, and I wanted to be sure she would be safe here." I smiled at Gwendolyn and said hello. She glanced up shyly for a second, and as she lifted her lovely face, I noticed the prominent Adam's apple on her throat. I directed them to the correct room and told Gwendolyn's dad where he could wait while the youth were meeting. As they headed downstairs, I felt deeply moved. I knew without that man having to tell me that it had been a long and difficult journey from the birth of his child to her current identity as a transgender young woman. I knew that Dad had likely never imagined that he would face such a challenge, and that it was also unlikely that anybody had offered resources and support while he and his child and family took those difficult steps, unless he was a Unitarian Universalist. Our congregations are places where transgender persons are welcomed and respected. And right here in our own fellowship, the local LGBTQ plus advocacy organization, PFLAG of Niceville, meets every second Sunday evening. And I am so inspired by that. For so many reasons, I am inspired by Unitarian Universalists. I've been with y'all 2.5 years now, and I want you to know how inspired I am to serve as your contract minister. When I arrived in August of 2021, this building was closed because of the COVID pandemic. Y'all had not met in person as a group in over a year. Our little friends of the forest had taken over the facility, and we hired a company to humanely catch and relocate the larger critters. I remember my encounter with a very sad, confused, little masked fellow pacing in a cage outside the back door. I called the company to alert them, and while we were waiting, I spoke very sweetly and stuck a piece of moist bread through the bars. It occurred to me that seminary had not trained me in the specifics of offering communion to raccoons, but I doped it out. As a dedicated UU minister, I am nothing if not inclusive in my pastoral care. The heat dragged on into the fall, and the AC wasn't working. Y'all are mighty hard on this menopausal woman, I'll tell you. In fact, the whole electrical system needed repair, among other building issues. A handful of leaders were trying desperately to keep our ship afloat and doing a remarkable job. But UUFEC was in a tight spot, like so many other UU congregations at the time. More than one member confided to me their worry during those early months that the fellowship might not survive. Look how far we've come, friends. We went from a handful of folk then meeting for recorded worship on Zoom to burgeoning crowds returning to warm the newly cleaned seats beginning Easter of 2022. And we've been moving forward ever since. Aren't you inspired? Oh yeah, woohoo! Our children's religious exploration program has blossomed under new and returning leadership, with new families, new programming, a facelift for our RE rooms, repair of the children's restroom. We have been in a great shape to engage our younglings in their faith journeys. So inspiring. We did a complete clean and repair of the building, which is now in the best shape it's been since y'all bought it from the Mormons decades ago. Last year we renovated the playground and renewed and repaired outside features and landscaping. The kitchen and all furnishings were cleaned and restored. The library and all the books were refreshed. We replaced those purgatorial gray chairs with more comfortable and attractive seating. And we repaved the parking lot. It's all so inspiring. Last year, for the first time in many years, we got the cost of professional ministry back into the budget. And I remember someone saying to me, I just don't know if we'll be able to get that back into the budget. But you did. Just as that reserve fund for paying the minister was dropping close to empty. That is an inspiring step toward fiscal health. And we just paid off the mortgage early. Woohoo! Thereby saving money, freeing resources for the upcoming search for a new minister. While I will be sad to leave y'all in the summer, I am inspired by the efforts of leaders to plan for the future of UUFC, and I want you all to be too. This fellowship has so much going for it. There's such warmth of community here. I see real friendships established and maintained over many years. I've also seen new relationships blossom with freshness and energy. We have members here who give so much of their time and effort because they truly believe in the mission of this fellowship. It makes a difference in your lives and empowers you to make a difference in the world. I am inspired by the new folk who have started attending since I've been here. They're bringing new energy, new ideas, new musical, theatrical, culinary, and intellectual talent to our church. Are you inspired yet? The intellectual and mental capacity in this room is certainly inspiring. It's even a little bit intimidating. We have some seriously smart folk in this room, competent in many areas of expertise. Creative spirits abound. We are blessed with an array of talent, artists, musicians, writers, dancers. It's all very inspiring. Our cup runneth over with organizational skill as well. We have managers, public safety experts, medical professionals, entrepreneurs, computer and internet whizzes, business and accounting professionals. Our congregation is filled with folk engaged in or retired from military service with much training and experience to share. Are you inspired yet? I am inspired by the folk here who have initiated new ministries for the care and nurture of our congregation. We have Tai Chi classes going on every week. Our TV dinner theater provides a venue for those pursuing performing arts. Our new and improved second hour program is providing a place for all ages to learn, to have fun, to engage with each other. Isn't all that inspiring? Our social justice committee is up and running with clothing and food drives. I just discovered this morning the baskets are lined up at the back of those long pews. If you brought something, please drop it in there. We're stocking our curbside pantry and our little library. And we have initiatives in the planning stages for civil rights and voting rights initiatives and projects. We host the local advocacy organization. I've already mentioned that every second Sunday. Are you inspired yet? When I was 23, I began work as a ministerial intern at Burns Memorial United Methodist Church in Aurora, Colorado. Long time ago. My boss and mentor, the Reverend Paul Murphy, called me into his office one day to talk about the upcoming stewardship campaign, my first. He asked if I wanted to fill out my pledge card right then. I was completely taken off guard. I had never pledged before. I had been in school all my life, and I had very little income. As a seminary student, my budget was tight. I thought pledging was for other people, people with real jobs, people who were older and more established and richer and, well, other people, not me. Paul, as my teacher in the real world of church ministry, took the opportunity to talk with me about the connection between ministry and stewardship. Ruth, he said, generosity is a spiritual discipline. Clinging to one's resources demonstrates fear and a lack of trust in God and in the people you are ministering to. Being willing to share what you have with others show that you have trust in them and that you have hope in the ministry that you share. The amount you give is far less important than your genuine effort to make giving part of your spiritual life. He continued, I have pledged to every church I have served in almost 40 years of ministry. I don't ask them to do what I am not willing to do. More importantly, I find that generosity actually enriches my life. It makes me a happier person. From that day, I too have pledged at every church I have served or belonged to since I was ordained 30 years ago. And that includes this one. And without doubt, it has strengthened my connection with my parishioners, and it has certainly enriched my inner life. Did you know that we are 75% of the way through our fiscal year, which ends April 30th? It's an unusual fiscal year. But here's the really wonderful, important thing. We're 75% of the way through, and the paid pledge income level is at 85%. The significance of this cannot be overstated. Every stewardship campaign has two parts. The first part is what began this time last year and what we are beginning again today. We get excited, enthusiastic, we get inspired, and we push ourselves and each other. Make that pledge, support the ministries of the church for the upcoming fiscal year. The second part is the less visible and less glamorous part of the actual paying of these pledges. Can we hold that enthusiasm for a whole year? Will people do what they promised? Will the money actually come in? Sometimes people don't fulfill their pledges for various reasons. They move away and forget their obligation. They lose their job or have an expensive medical crisis. They get mad at the leadership or the minister or the raccoons and decide to punish the church by not fulfilling their promise. Sometimes people die and they haven't put in their will or talked with their loved ones to make sure that their estate pays up their church pledge. If you haven't done that, please do that. Right now, though, we are poised to have one of the best financial years this church has seen in quite a while. Can I get an amen? Amen. All right. That's a lot of funding for mission and ministry. It's tremendous. Are you inspired yet? I think you are. Now, this is a needle. This is some thread. Here's me trying to thread that needle. We have members who are very well off. And we have members who are living on the financial edge. And a fair number who are living somewhere between. So please hear me as I thread this needle. Some of you are familiar with the spiritual practice of generosity and exercise it regularly. Regardless of the amount that you pledge, you will be happy to increase it by the 10% we're asking over last year. Others of you are worried about how you're going to complete last year's pledge and whether you can continue at that level. Some of you are new to pledging and will want to think carefully about participating. And by the way, you don't have to be a member to pledge, and All members are expected to pledge and pay something as part of their membership commitment, but everyone determines their own pledge. And only a very few leaders will ever see the actual figures. If you are visiting today, we don't expect you to pledge, but we're happy to answer any questions you might have. If you are a member giving all you can possibly afford, we thank you. If you have given the same amount for several years and you have had some increase in your own income, please consider increasing your pledge. The expenses of running the fellowship go up every year. If you're having a hard time financially, we understand and we'll be happy to receive whatever you're able to contribute. I want you all to be inspired to give what you can and to push yourselves to give more if you possibly can afford it. We don't pledge to the board or to the Unitarian Universalist Association. You certainly don't pledge to me. We pledge to each other because we trust each other and we believe that our fellowship has an important role to play on the Florida Panhandle. There are more UUs out there. They don't know they're UUs, but they are, and they don't know we're here. They haven't found us. We pledge in order to make sure that we will be here for them to find us. And so we can all engage in the work of repairing the world. And our world is really hurting. Are you inspired? Are you feeling good about what's going on here at UUFEC? Are you feeling encouraged about your church's future? Are you filled with the fire of commitment to the important ministries and projects that we've got going on? Are we inspired? Oh, yes. Amen. Shalom. Blessed be. Let's sing about our commitment. You can turn in a teal hymnal to 1028, or you can look on the screen. We're going to sing all the verses of the fire of commitment as you are able. I invite you to stand.
May you be filled with the blessings of this covenanted community. May you carry them with you as you depart from here. May you discover the places in the world where these blessings are needed. May you have the courage to share them. May there be an open place within you to receive the blessings of the people whom you meet along the way.
Please remember, following the postlude, to find Denny or Judy and get your pledge packet to take home. Siblings and kindred, oh, we have so much to be thankful for, so much that inspires us about this fantastic community. From this place, let us go forth to repair the world after the postlude. Amen. Shalom. Blessed be.
Thank you, and don't forget, after refreshments, 11:15, up here, the visitor circle, and in the library, the Buddhistarians.